I don't believe something like the War Room or whatever the fuck Andrew Tate is pushing. I don't believe that something like that will help you. Criminal Hustler course coming soon on Scifen YouTube channel. I'm not saying that if you just want to do something on the side as a hobby, like play the guitar, I'm not saying you need to be a musician, right? I'm not saying that like you need to take it to like 100%. I'm not saying that if you occasionally like to shoot guns at the range that you need to be a marksman. I'm not saying that at all, although that would be pretty fucking cool if I could do that, because I do actually shoot guns and I do actually dabble in instruments a little bit, but I don't make those like my profession or whatever. It would be really fucking cool if I could be all those things though. I'm not saying that you should do that though. I'm not saying that like if you just like something occasionally, you like to do something a little bit light just to entertain yourself. I'm not saying that like you should take that to the maximum unless you want to. If you just ask yourself like, okay, if I could do everything I wanted to do right now with this knowledge, what would I do? If you, like, with your answer, like, actually ask yourself this and, like, find a way to do that. Just find a way to do it.
An accomplished autodidact and just, an autodidact that jack of all trades a bunch of different stuff while you're just, I don't know, getting the tugboat money and living at home or with your mommy or whatever else. I mean, there's a difference between like, because you have an entrepreneurial mindset, Scifen, which is like very rare among people in general, believe it or not. So, I mean, this stuff that is just naturally intuitive to you in a way that it's not for most people.
I mean, like, this is my perspective, like this is my logic here, right? And that's that, like, okay, you have resources, you have ideas, make these ideas come to reality, right? Using the resources that you already have, there's a chance that the thing that you make can be enjoyed by other people and that people want to pay for that. And why not find out what exactly that can give you, right? Even if you fail, you're still going to learn something really cool about like the process of doing that. And that can be used to do those things even faster and even better when you have a new idea or when you want to act on something else. That's the way that I think about it, and that's just the most logical conclusion that I've come to with that, basically. And I feel like
I know it's you're not wrong. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that like most people are probably.
Yeah, this is my thought process.
Nod their head and hear you and agree with you and like find what you're saying reasonable and possibly applicable. But how many people are actually going to like pull the trigger on like manifesting what you're saying into a substantive reality?
Well, they have to take raw action.
They actually do something. Yeah, I know they do. That's the biggest part of this problem. That's the biggest cogwheel on this dialectical machine that we're building that's missing from most people.
Yeah, and the thing is that the thing that's preventing you from taking it, like, this is my personal experience, okay? This is my personal experience. I'm 20 years old, whatever the fuck, right? Like, this is my personal experience. It's obviously very different for people who are older or whatever. Like, when you're older, you have responsibilities, you have fucking kids to take care of, or you have to fucking pay a mortgage, or you have to do all this other fucking shit. Like, you have to pay insurance, and you have to do all this other stuff, right? You can't be helped by mommy and daddy, right? You can't do that. Okay, when I'm so I understand I'm talking from, like, a very, like, I'm young and whatever, my parents, whatever, they support me. So this is where I'm coming from. But even then, I feel like even if you do have these responsibilities, as long as you have the will to fulfill those responsibilities, as long as you have that will to do that, while also making your ideas come into reality, I definitely 1,000,000% think that you can, like, I think someone like that can do it. Even if you have the responsibilities, even if you have, like, all these things or whatever, I still think you can do it. And I feel like just so many people make excuses for themselves. I feel like so many people, they just find ways to just not do the thing that they're doing because they're just not confident in it, or because they're afraid. Well, it's like, okay, well, how do I say this? If what I was mentioning about earlier, right, about like, oh, social pushback or whatever, if that's like not what's making you afraid, and instead what is making you afraid is like, oh, my wife might divorce me, or like, oh, my kids, I need to put food in their mouths, okay? There's literally always a way to get through those, right? There's literally always a way to make sure that like you can get what you want and like still have these other things. Like, you don't have to like like the message that I'm giving to people, I don't want these people to think that they have to throw everything away and then do it. No, like if you have kids, fucking be responsible, right? If you have a wife, obviously try to compromise or like try to figure something out, right? With money and whatever. If you have to like split finances and you have to fucking share finances or whatever, like obviously find a way to fucking like sort that out. Like I'm not telling people to throw everything away. That's the last thing I would do. Unless you genuinely have nothing to lose. Unless you like genuinely like what you have to lose is not really that much, and like this is like your last hope or whatever, right? That's not what I'm telling people to do, though. I'm not telling people to throw everything away. What I am telling people is just find out what the fuck is making you afraid, and find out like what these things are, and like there are things that like you like. I was talking to my friend the other day, right? And he's like actually struggling with his money, right? He's actually struggling. But the thing is, he's living with this. Not Herman. Herman is a whole nother can of worms. Literally.
You got to give me the money.
Holy shit! I'm gonna tell everyone about that later. Oh my god. But literally, like, my friend is, he's struggling with money, right? Thankfully, he has a girlfriend whose parents are really supportive, and they're like letting him stay at their place, and like the girlfriend is understanding or whatever, right? Thankfully, that's the case, because otherwise he would just get broken up with and thrown out of the house or whatever, right? And just be looked down upon. But thankfully, whatever, they're confident in him. And so he was telling me about like fucking this one thing. I think it's called like Wealth Builders or World Financial Group or whatever, and how he's working for like these insurance people, and that they're helping him make money, and that there's fucking like they're helping him write insurance policies, and they're helping him getting a license and whatever. Scam. Basically a scam. Basically a scam. Yeah, basically a multi-level marketing scheme. Yeah. Where they take
guy that fell for the pyramid scheme. It's like, but by the way, everything that you're saying, it's like there's actually a dangerous component to what you're like publicly disseminating right now, because okay, most people, they're gonna hear what you say. Now, probably the majority of them, in my perception, just won't do anything, and they'll just like change the channel and listen to a Mr. Beast video next.
Hopefully not. If you do that, you're gay. Okay.
Yeah, okay. There is a vanishingly rare contingent of people that will both listen to this
sure
and have the preeminent dynamical factors already in play in their person, where the only trigger that this pre-existing machinery needed to pull was hearing you say this at this moment. But this was a person that was like already capable of doing everything you're describing, and are just like, that random YouTube video I watched was right. I can literally do all of those things, and I think I'll start tomorrow. That's like, maybe you can count those people on one fucking hand in the world that will ever see this, probably.
Yeah.
It's that few of them. Now, in between,
maybe no one.
There's a weird thing that happens, where you bring up this guy with the Ponzi scheme, and this is a good example of this. In between, there'll be a contingency of people that hear you say this, but are really fucking stupid. And they'll attempt to apply, in part or in a whole, something you've said, but like a vague, misunderstood, reimagined, reinterpreted version of it, that then there's like a lot more con artists than any of the three groups I've aforementioned. There's con artists that are just already playing on somebody like who just bought a self-help book, who just got out of like a rut in their life, or is in a compromising position in some way. Like, these are fucking predatory scam artists, con men, that will like manipulate this person. It's just like, I watched a random YouTube video, and I don't know where to start, but I think I'll look up something to start and be entrepreneurial. Oh, what is this, like, the International Association of Top Professionals? I need to join that first. They'll do that.
Oh my god. Yeah, don't listen. Okay, I don't believe something like the War Room or whatever the fuck Andrew Tate is pushing. I don't believe that something like that will help you, okay? Not only because literally, like, you can learn all of, like, this information, like, just on your own. Like, you don't need, like, a middleman to give you the information. You don't need someone to split the wheat from the chaff for you, If you don't know how to split the wheat from the chaff, if you don't know how to discern information, good information from bad information, if you don't know how to like filter information, then that's definitely something that like has to be worked on, right? But once your ability to like filter information and discern good and bad information, useful from useless information, once you actually have that, like you don't need a middleman. You don't need an arbiter. You don't need to join the fucking War Room or Hustlers University or whatever the fuck. You don't need to join the International Association of Top Professionals. You don't need to join fucking the World Financial Group. You don't need to join any of these things.
These people are stupid and or lazy, and
oh, okay.
they want something where most of the work is already done for them, so they will join a pyramid scheme of some permutation, and they'll lose all their money, or they'll get crypto rug pull scammed, and then they'll be in a worse boat than what they started with before they took their advice. But, you know, granted, that will be entirely their fault still, regardless of what you do or don't say. But with that group of people, you're not even technically helping. There's kind of machinery of their own self-destruction in play with those type of people.
I feel like very few people
just, like, push them off the edge.
I feel like very few people like are actually so stupid and like they're actually so like mentally disabled. I feel like very few people are like that. Like they're actually so mentally like just so disabled that they'll do that. But and listen, I cannot help those people. I can't fix stupid. I can't help those people. So if you're doing this and if you're thinking about like doing it, and despite what me or Bakir are saying, like if you still do it, I can't help you, my friend. You have to fucking learn the hard way. You're gonna have to fucking learn, okay? You're gonna have to learn on experience. You're gonna have to learn on your own.
You know who we can help though.
What's up? Who?
You know, we're talking about becoming a good entrepreneur, and you're right. There are people out there that fall for these multi-level marketing schemes, right?
Yeah.
But maybe to anyone listening to this, maybe you can be that young entrepreneur that can start his own pyramid scheme, right?
Very true.
You can bait the stupid people in. You can do that. You
can start a crypto coin and then advertise it as like the best thing ever, and then put out a white paper saying how awesome it is, and then like contact with influencers, and then you could become that person. You could become the scammer.
Yeah,
genius. You can do it. You could also
There's literally there's a website for this. What was it called?
Yeah, pump.fun or some shit like that.
Pump.fun. Yes, pump.fun. There's a whole meta level business just for people who want to do this.
Exactly. Boom. There you fucking go. Okay? Fucking scam and fraud. Yeah, scam and fraud on speed dial. Well, yeah.
I do not advocate fraud on the poop.
Well, listen, no, Brick here. No, listen. I'm not gonna get caught because I'm so intelligent and smart, and I'm so like.
Financial advice.
This is 100% financial advice.
No, you can't say that.
There's something a lot of people should know. Now, this is a little bit tricky, but if you can pull it off, it's pretty awesome. A lot of these, MLMs, pyramid schemes. Like you have to produce something, like one of the most famous ones is Cutco, right? And, you got to at least make the knives and then sell them at astronomical rates or whatever. So like there's kind of like a barrier to entry, even if you're trying to be like a pyramid scammer. But if you can actually invent like a religion. Scientology did this. Farrakhan, he's good at this with the Yakub. Inventing all the white people. And see, here's the thing, right? You can get people to pay you for this nonsense information that you just came up with one day. But you keep it like a secret or whatever. Oh, these are deep truths of the universe. Just do that. You don't even have to make anything. Just invent a bullshit religion.
There you go. And you could also do. You know what you could also do?
A bullshit religion in the age of YouTube and the internet is actually harder because L. Ron Hubbard was already like a master sci-fi author, so at least he had like meat and potatoes narrative skills that he then transferred over, and it's like, okay, it's a sci-fi novel but different because this is totally real, bro, believe me.
You know what you could also do? You could also make a fucking course. There you go. You could go on Wikipedia. You can go fucking look up stock trading patterns PDF from Fidelity Investments or some shit like that, and then like start reading it and then figure out how it works, and then start like compiling all this information and make like 10 videos or whatever, call that a course, make it private, make people pay like $50 to $100 for like how to learn stock pattern day trading for beginners. I'm going to be teaching you all of the world-class methods to be fucking a billion. Like, this is going to be serious. Guys, this is you don't want to miss out on this course.
If you do this, by the way, if you do this, I'm not even saying you can't do this legally, but if you do this, you necessarily have to put at the beginning of this in clear, unambiguous language, with you saying it out loud preferably, that this is for entertainment purposes only, and this does not represent financial advice. Please consult a qualified financial expert for all of your investment decisions. You literally have to say that in the front. If you say that disclaimer in the front, though, you can do exactly everything you're saying and charge $50 a course for it, but you have to say what I just said up front.
Well, that's only if you're doing, stock stuff, right? Like, I was thinking the other day, like, what if I just made a course and it was just teaching people how to be less autistic, right? Do you know how many people online are like massive autists? They need help, and so for only $200, I have a 7 class course that you can take to be less autistic, and that's for educational purposes. There you go.
There you go. And you could also do is you can present yourself as a legitimate business. Okay, you could say, I repair fucking washing machines or whatever, right? And what you could do is like you could go to this person's house, they'll trust you, they'll be like, I need help with this washing machine, it's fucking broken, I don't know what to do. You could be like, okay, don't worry about it, I'll fix it 100%. Just give me the washing machine, I'll take it to my shop. This is a very complex issue. And what you could do is you could fix it, and then you could just sell it, and then you could be a fucking awesome. And guess what? The police will never fucking ever do anything about this. Guess what? The police will never do anything about this ever. Okay, so the person gets fucked, and you get them. Yay, woohoo! Because they'll be like, actually, it costs more to litigate this than it does to replace it.
This is a felony at this point. This is unambiguously a felony.
Yeah, pretty much, but yeah, pretty much.
Stealing property under false pretenses. This is explicit.
Well, listen. When you're a hustler, you have to be above the law. You have to not care. You're afraid of going to jail. You're afraid of a little bit of jail. It's just sitting in a room. There you go.
Here's the thing. If you didn't get caught, is it really breaking the law?
That's true. That's very true. You're bringing up a very good point here, and this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, consider this. If after the 10th time you've done this, at some
by the 10th time, you move on to something else.
Yeah, it could be the 10th time, it could be the 100th time, it could be the first time, I don't know. Sometime, and you'll never know when exactly this hammer is going to fall. Sometime eventually, people are going to get, it's like, hey, wait a minute. There's been a lot of reportings of, like, washing machine thefts in this area. Maybe, the police, what they'll do is they'll just like generally look around. It's like, do we ever see anyone with like a washing machine in the back of a pickup truck? Do we ever like see like a ratty old derelict house in the corner of the neighborhood where the yard is just filled with relatively new and functional looking washing machines? I wonder who could be behind this rash of washing machine theft.
Well, okay, and just to be clear, technically speaking, the washing machine is really just an example. If you're really wanting to get into a business like this, you wouldn't want to target that particular appliance. Usually their resale value isn't that good, but I actually have a course that will teach you which home appliances you can do this with to make the most amount of profit. Coming soon.
Awesome. Amazing. New criminal course. Criminal hustler course coming soon on Scifen YouTube channel. Amazing, everyone. We're giving advice to criminals.
Don't do it with big screen TVs, because big screen TVs, like the price brand new in the fucking store is shit, because number one, the tech sector is taking a massive kick in the balls, and number two, it's like the economy has taken such a kick in the balls that all these fucking mega stores and Costco's and Sam's Club and Walmart's and everywhere that sells these fucking big screen TVs, they have to mark these things down fucking massively, because no one cares anymore, because most modern people watch all of their shit on the fucking internet or on their fucking phone, which is this little... The big screen TV got supplanted by a tiny 5-inch fucking screen you can carry in your pocket.
It's actually crazy how fucked everything is, because what I just told you right now, what I just told you,
Town.
what I just told you, basically kind of happened to me, right? I found a pretty good deal, right? I found a pretty good deal on this this marketplace, right? And fucking yeah, it's the Facebook Marketplace. I found a really good deal, and it was a Xbox Series X, right? Xbox Series X, and this person, they put up pictures. They, you know, I went on video call with them. I saw the actual product. I saw them putting the actual product in there, and the goal was that I was gonna send this to someone who wanted to buy it for a higher price, right? So I'd make money off of the difference, right? And so as this person was putting it in the box, and they went to the post office, and they got like a piece of paper with a shipping label and everything like that. I basically, yeah, I sent them the money through fucking PayPal or whatever, and then they sent the money back, and I had to fucking use something else, but that's not the point. So as that was happening or whatever, right? You know, I think everything is going fine, right? You know, oh, this is just fine. You know, I actually saw this. This is pretty good. Like, you know, if this ever goes wrong, I know what to do, right? And so literally, needless to say, the person on the other end got a fucking PS3, right? They got a fucking PS3, not an Xbox Series X. These are two very different fucking things, okay? One can play fucking Persona 2 or some shit, and then the other is just fucking... It's just garbage. It's just boo. I hate the fuck. There's no. Why would you ever get a Xbox Series X? Okay, what does it do that an Xbox One can't fucking do? And what does it do that a fucking PC, a decent PC, can't do? But yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah.
Well, it makes you think you're part of a club. You're part of the Xbox club, the console wars, console lords.
So,
Xbox.
There you go. So basically, so yeah. So I get the Xbox. Or I'm sorry. Some honest to God merchanting arbitrage type shit. Okay. And so what ended up happening was that this person, they got the PS3. They're like, this isn't the thing I asked for. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay. We're gonna get this resolved immediately. Send it back to the return address. I'll pay for the shipping label. I'll pay for shipping. Yeah. Just do that. And what I immediately started doing was I fucking dug into this person's Facebook profile. I found their friends. I found their family. I found their full name. I found everything pointed to this person. This fucking person. I'm gonna put their picture up on screen, little bitch, right? Literally everything was pointing to this person. And I had everything, like I had all my fucking ducks in a row. And I was like, okay, I'm calling the police. I'm gonna get my money back. I have this person's fucking phone number. I have their home address. I have the fucking place they're staying at. Like, I have everything. I have their girlfriend's fucking number and address. And so, this is all in the span of a few hours where this happened. Like, I was not playing, okay? And so, literally, I called the fucking Tennessee police, and I'm just like, hey, this is an e-commerce scam. This is the person. This is their name. I'll send you all the information through email. And that's what I do, right? I get this person's contact, right? The police's contact, and you know, I start like heading toward the steps to like corresponding with them, right? And literally, so I get the PS3 back, and then I fucking what I do is I hold it, right? I'm holding the PS3, right? And what ends up happening is that this fucking person, like, the bank actually gives me money first before the police do anything, right?
Uh-oh.
The bank actually gives me the money.
Planned for that.
The bank gives me the money, and okay. But to be fair, I was still like compiling information and typing up a whole thing, right? And so like while I was doing that, before anything started to happen, the bank gave me the money, and literally I was like, okay, well, what is the point of me sending all of this information and continuing to compile more things? So it's just rational for me to just fucking not do anything further about this. I got my money back. There's really no reason why I should be doing any of this because it would be a waste of time. And so that's what I did. I just left it at that. I'm sure like if I really cared, I could have litigated it. It would have ended up costing me more money. It would have resulted in a loss. It's I'm not gonna go through that trouble. So I was just like, fuck it. But yeah, that's just a thing that people do.
You got a free PS3.
Yeah, I got a free PS3.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I mean, kind of an older system, but yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's what happened. These people, the police, it just ends up, it's like economically, it ends up working against you if you decide to litigate them. So most people just choose not to litigate people for stealing shit.
Yeah, that's why, like, the most successful criminals are always these. You always got to find that sweet spot where it's like, okay, I can get away with this for so long because exactly what you just described. Because, like, the cost-benefit analysis of actually litigating this is, like, heavily slanted in just like, well, fuck it, write it off. That's, like, the most successful criminals.
Well, see, that's why, if you're gonna do some, robbery, you don't do an armed robbery at a bank or a jewelry store and try to make, like, the one big thing. No, just, like, go to a store, steal less than $100 worth of items or whatever the limit is in your state, and just walk out, and they won't do shit, right? You could do that every day. You can just get, like, $99 worth of stuff every single day, and you're good. You're golden.
Now, occasionally, there was this woman whose, like, computer that I was fixing, and she was telling me a story about how when she was younger, she stole a candy bar off of the store, and she felt like she just didn't want to, like, bother to pay for it, so that she just took it, and she was caught on tape doing this, and the police confronted her about it because the store owner, I think, reported it or something, or someone found her, someone saw her doing it, and the police was like, okay, yeah, you're going to spend a night in jail. And she was like 14 or something, right? So she spent like one night in jail or whatever. And I don't even know how true this story is, so take this with a grain of salt, right? So it was just like, okay, you're going to spend one night in jail. Like, you freaking did this thing. Or I think they either let her off with a warning or she had to like spend the night in jail. I don't really remember. I'm probably confusing the order of this. But the point is that she ended up getting some kind of consequence for the candy bar thing. And she ended up, like, I think it was either at that same store or a different store. There was just $100 just on the counter, right? Just on the counter. And she was caught on tape just taking it, basically. I think she was like 15 or 16 when this happened. She was just caught on tape, just grabbing this $100 on top of this counter. And she, like, was keeping it, right? And the police were like, okay, so you have this, obviously, because you took it, and it shows on video that you did. And so you can either give this back, or we'll put you in jail, right? And she was like, she had it the entire time. She had not spent it at all, right? But for some reason, she decided to say, oh, well, I don't know, some excuse. I don't remember, but she gave an excuse as to why that couldn't be done. Right? And the police were like, okay, you're going to jail. And so that's what happened. She went in jail, and the bond ended up costing her parents $500, right? So they put it up for bond, and I don't even think she got that money back. So it was like $400 down, if we're taking that into account, using fucking her wins and her parents' losses and combining them. But basically, she just ended up spending a night in jail, and I think that for a couple of months to a year, she ended up doing community service, and she was also placed on probation for like a year and a half. So
see, this is why, like, actually this is a lot easier to do in 2024, right? And this is advice to
wait. But before you say that, wait, let me finish.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So there might be a situation where there's like actually like people who want to teach you a lesson and charge you, even if it does end up costing them more than the item that you took. So there actually might be that. And there's two things that I'm thinking about right now when it comes to that. So number one, they're either like a really like morally upright person, and they want to like instill these values in you, and they want to tell you that every action has a consequence. Yeah, or they want to fuck you over. Or it actually is going to end up costing more for the store owner to let you get away with it, so that in the future you will continue to do it. So they'd rather just nip it in the bud, and they just rather get you in jail, or like put you under the threat of jail, so that you're deterred from doing something like that again if the opportunity arises once more, right? So yeah, there's those three situations.
Here's the thing, though, like
those three explanations.
It's a lot easier in 2024, and a lot of people are going to know exactly where I'm going with this. All you got to do is get yourself an N95 mask, and just walk in there and steal shit, they don't have your face anymore, right? And it's simple because you're allowed to do it. Just get an N95 mask, put a hoodie on, you're good, you're golden, all right? Just rush out of the store before, anyone can try to remove the mask from your face and see who you are. It's actually really simple stuff.
Hold on, give me a second. I gotta go piss for a minute. Hold
Okay,
up.
all right.
No, if you really want to rob people, you have to just open a bank.